rejection. So I hope you guys join me. You know, we're going to wait for a few people to get in here as usual, and then we're going to get started. Okay, guys? Whoa. So, yeah. We don't have the water for a skull tonight, guys. They're still working on Orange's water system, which connects to ours. So we're still out of water till tomorrow. So we're just going to wait for a few people to show up. Then we're going to get started, everybody. What's up, Temptation? How you doing, man? First time to be here and the first one in. You know, congratulations, brother. You know, it's awesome to have y'all guys here. Thank you, Nightshade. Thank you. You know, welcome in. We're just waiting for a few more people, and we're going to get started on how to handle rejection, guys. You know, Jen should be in here shortly. What's up, Bubba? How you doing? First to like. All right. And then we got Bubba in here saying hello. I'm only here for half an hour. I got you, Nightshade. That's fine, sweet. You know, thank you for letting me know. You know, guys, we're just going to wait for just a couple more people to show in, see if there's anybody even wanting to listen. I got some shorts made. Nice. You know, all right, guys. We got 5 people in here that are brand new, and we got some people in here already. So let's go on ahead and get started, shall we? So, how to handle rejection, guys. You know, rejection is something that none of us want to handle. You know, none of us want to deal with it. None of us want to have to put up with it. You know, none of us want it in our lives, guys. You know, nobody likes to be rejected, ever. You know, unless you're rejected for, you know, being guilty of a crime. What's up, Angel 420? How you doing? You know, unless you're being, you know, let off of that, nobody really wants to have to deal with rejection. Yeah. Stream twin. Nice. But, gotta go. I'm getting a massive headache. All right, Nightshade. We'll see you next time. Okay, sweetie? What's up, Angel 420? You know, it's good to see you in here. So, yeah, guys, we got 4 new people. We got 5 likes. Go on ahead and keep hitting that. You know, guys, that like button, that subscribe bell, and all that stuff. See you later, my friend. You know, that really helps us out here. So, yeah, you know, the main thing that most people don't want to deal with when it comes down to rejection is the pain that can follow from, you know, the pain that it can cause, for sure. Yeah, I'm a little chunky, you know, not too much, but I'm right at 219 pounds, so I'm just a little chunky, you know. Anyway, guys, so, you know, when you're dealing with, you're all good, man. But when dealing with any form of rejection can honestly be most of the time detrimental. You know, guys, we usually experience our first form of rejection when we're in school, guys. You know, your first crush is never usually the one you end up with. Usually they break your heart pretty hard. But what's up, Portia? How you doing? You know, it's definitely we got somebody advertising a channel here. There we go. So yeah, guys. Now, how to handle this, okay? Take a step back. Look at why you got rejected. You know, guys, because there usually is a part that you play in that rejection. You know, every single time. And it can be something small. You know, guys, it can be something simple as they were having a bad day. You know, it can be something as big as you're just not attracted to it. You know, or you're just not what they're looking for. You know, guys, recently I had a rejection letter from a pro bono lawyer and from Dark Knight Armory. Now, Dark Knight Armory is just not looking for anybody at the moment. So I can understand that. You know, the pro bono lawyers just didn't want to represent us, guys, which is fine. That's their choice. You know, they're not getting paid for it. But I had to deal with that kind of rejection. And it caused a major setback for me, guys. You know, that cost me time and effort. You know, but you know, I had to handle that rejection. And the way I did it was I looked at the simple fact that, guys, who's one to represent a brand new charity just coming up and running when they can't get paid? You know, they're not guaranteed to be able to get paid anytime soon. Sorry, guys, it's still a little warm in here. I just turned on the AC unit. But anyway, so yeah, when you turn around and you look at why, you know, sometimes that why can help you to be able to handle the actual rejection itself. You know, a lot of times, you know, we get rejection letters from colleges and things like that, and it causes discouragement, guys. But no, you got to keep trying because there's going to be somebody out there. You know, love especially. Love is one of the hardest things to handle when it comes down to rejection. You know, it hurts us. It does something to us on the inside a lot of times. And, you know, losing love can break you. Chuck, would you quit messing with everything electrical? Ah! Oh, man. See what happens when your dog's a little overexcited? You know, that's your new channel? All right. We're definitely going to see if we can get you some more. What's up, Rooster Boy? Can I go live with you tomorrow? Rooster Boy, if you're in Southeast Texas and you want to come by and visit, that's cool. But I ain't got enough room nor the money for anybody to come move in with me. No, the dog is not humping my foot. He's scratching his side and he's moving around the electrical cords, which are all plugging everything up. But no, he's not doing that, thank God. But he's definitely out of that stage by now. Anyway, back to handling rejection. So, what does it do to us when we're rejected by love? You know, especially somebody that we've been with for a while, you know, and then they suddenly reject us. How do you handle that? You know, guys, that's the hard one. Because that's when you really got to sit back and you got to wait for yourself to calm down, because you're going to be angry. You're going to be disappointed. You're going to cry. You're going to be upset. You're going to have every emotion hit you all at once. You know, then you're going to need to step back, look at what you did first, and then look at what they did. You know, guys, look at what they told you. And then see if what they told you lines up with what you actually honestly did. And I mean, you got to look at what you honestly did, not what you think you did. You know, if you need to, ask around to people, hey, was I doing this when we were together? You know, guys, and make sure you weren't the problem before you start, you know, bumping gums. You know, guys, and that rejection, you know, when it is literally just out of nowhere and it doesn't have merit, guys, that's the rejection that tears the heart and reddens the soul. You know, that's the one that really, really, really messes with you, you know, guys. And those are usually the relationships that break people, you know, guys, is when rejection comes from them, you know. And to handle that rejection takes a lot of strength and a lot of willpower, my friends. A lot of willpower, you know, guys. That's why I like the Green Lantern, you know, because it takes a lot of willpower to do what I do, and it takes a lot of willpower to be able to handle a lot of the traumas and stresses I've gone through, you know, guys, and a lot of the rejections. Because boy, howdy, I had some. You know, I've been rejected by hospitals because they're like, your condition is untreatable, you know, so they wouldn't let me come in because they're like, you have unidentified epilepsy, which unidentified epilepsy just simply means that, like my friend Nightshade, who just recently had to go, you know, The seizures are caused by something neurological that they can't identify. And it's because, there's not very much of the brain that's mapped out, guys. And it makes it very hard to be able to pinpoint certain conditions, especially when there's so many variants of it, and I got rejected by hospitals for treatment because of that. I have been rejected by job after job after job, because of my schizophrenia and my epilepsy. Just because the state of Texas said I have it, doesn't mean that I let it run me. And that, guys, is what's led to my situation, and why'd you block Bubba? Rings cannot do anything. I know, but it's just fun, guys. I'm just a fan of the Green Lantern. And yes, I am crazy, Elijah. Hey, Clint, my mental health has been bad, but I'm back now. All right, Superior Aviation. It's good to see you back, brother. So now, how do we handle these rejections? That's going to be our next question, because we've talked about what it can cause. It can cause depression. It can cause, long-term damage to some people. And it can cause just short-term anger issues to others. Like, I've seen people that when they get rejected, they go into a rage, guys. And that's bad, Just calm on down. Just step back and take a break, It's always good to try to take and make sure that you are doing the right thing, to make sure that you are being rejected for the right reasons, guys. It takes some sitting back and reflecting. And that reflection has to be inward. You have to look towards yourself first and always see, okay, what am I lacking? What did I do wrong? That's what you got to look at first. Not beat yourself up over it, but simply look at it. Visualize what you have done, honestly done, or what honestly makes you qualify. And then look at why they chose to reject you. And then look at their policies, or look at the person themselves. Their personalities might be so different that just might be what happened. I've had one girl that rejected me whenever I asked her out simply because I wasn't her type. She said, no, you're absolutely sweet and you'd be a great man, but you're just not the kind of person I'm looking for. Guys, and, that rejection hurt, but I handled it. I went on ahead and went about my day. It was like, ouch, my pride, but you swallow it and you move on. Guys, and swallowing your pride is the biggest part about taking rejection. That is the hardest part that people have to get through most of the time, is swallowing that big chunk of pride that just got whammo, and I'll give you 5K if you shave your beard on live right now. Nope, can't do it, man. My actual religion is, more important. But anyway, man. So yeah, this is just how life goes. Rejection's going to hit you. So now, how do you handle it? You take a step back. You breathe. You calm yourself down. You let your heart reset. You let your mind reset. If it takes a while, it takes a while. Guys, especially when it comes down to a divorce situation or a long-term relationship where things have suddenly been rejected. Something has caused it to end. And that rejection can sometimes take years to get over, guys. I didn't date anybody again for several years after my last girl, because we were together for 8 and she left me for another man. Yeah, she cheated on me and she left. When my schizophrenia and my epilepsy started getting way worse and people stopped hiring me, she left. And yeah, she did it the wrong way. In my opinion, she could have been a lot nicer about it, because she could have not cheated on me. That would have been very, very nice of her. But it happened. And now I had to give myself and my mind, my heart, and my soul time to be able to recuperate from that major blow, guys, because I had spent all these years breaking my body, not knowing what was wrong with me, to try to take care of it, guys. And I didn't do bad for myself. I was working $12 to $13 an hour jobs. I worked construction a lot. So, Chuck, would you quit moving the stand? Get up. Thank you, baby. But so yeah, when you take and you have these issues where you can't let go of a problem like, oh my God, I just don't understand. Or, they're just a jerk for doing it. Or they're just this, they're just that. You've got to get through that. You've got to get through the pointing fingers and the blame. And you got to look at both sides of the coin. It's like an argument. Somebody's got merit on both sides. And it doesn't matter what that merit is in, but somebody's got merit, on each side. Because you may have done something to make that person mad, but they did something to make you mad, guys. And so now you've got to learn how to make a compromise. Now you got to learn to come together. And now you got to learn to forgive and forget and move on, like we've talked about before. But you can't do that if you can't let go of the feelings of rejection. Those feelings are going to cloud you. They're going to corrupt you. They're going to blacken your heart. And I've seen rejection turn somebody who is one of the kindest people on the planet, my Uncle Jerry, into one of the most bitter, lonely men I've ever seen. Oh, Rooster boy, you got screwed. You should have kept your mouth shut. Davey don't take no crap. So, and he don't let people give me any. So watch yourselves, guys, tonight. Davey's on the prowl. Anyway, guys, as it goes along, you can take and handle these rejection processes in different ways. Find a way to cope with it. Coping mechanisms are always a great way to be able to get through certain problems. I'm not saying everybody needs to have 1,000 fucking security blankets. Ooh, excuse the language. 1,000 dead gum security blankets. Sorry. Like I said, it slips every now and then. Sorry, guys. But no, I'm not saying everybody needs that much stuff. What I am saying is, guys, you just gotta calm down. You just gotta look at what's going on. And it will help you to feel better. It will help you to realize what you may have done, what they may have done, who was wrong on both sides and who was right. And that helps you to be able to handle that rejection. And guys, that's the best way I've learned how to do it. Look at both sides of the coin. Because there's always two sides to everything. And guys, if you've got a situation like, say, you're feeling rejected because you think somebody cares about somebody else more than you, guys, or you think that somebody wants to do something, more than they want to spend time with you, or you think that, you've got to take and you think that you've got to take and make sure that everything around you is perfect, and then it just doesn't happen. And somebody comes in, they're like, you could have done better. That rejection can sometimes drive you nuts if you let it. It can be small things, guys. And these small things can lead to big problems if you don't take care of them early, and that's what I would like everybody to try to do at one point is if you get rejected, I want you to sit down and I want you to look at why you were rejected. I want you to look at what caused you to be rejected, like what you did. And then I want you to look at either the person, the place, or the organization that rejected you. And then you can probably realize, hey, look, they've got pros and cons over here. For me, I got pros and cons over here for this. Guys, there's an old saying of mine that my grandpa gave me, my dad used, my whole family is basically used, which is simply put, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Because if you're prepared for the worst, you're prepared for the best. And it's never too bad to over prepare, but like there is such a thing as overboard with it, like buying 2 crates of eggs in Costco or buying an entire aisle of toilet paper because everybody's afraid that we got a toilet paper shortage. Guys, that's going overboard. But stocking up on about maybe a few dozen eggs, so that you might have to come back to the store. Oh, well, guys, that's just how it works. Don't overload yourself, because when you panic like that and you freak out like that, you cause yourself more problems. You cause yourself more issues than what you would actually solve, and handling rejection is the same way. If you don't handle it properly and you don't step back and think and clear your head and honestly look at it like a responsible, respectable adult and not someone being an angry child, then you can honestly take and step back and be able to look at it through a lens that's just kind of like, okay, that happened. This is what I obviously need to improve on. Or this is what's obviously not the problem. In the case of whenever they were trying to figure out what was wrong with me, they did several different tests on me. And a lot of them were like, well, that's not it. Well, that's not it. Well, that's not it. They tested me from everything from bipolar all the way down to, I think, autism. And then they were finally like, oh, you've got a form of schizophrenia. And it took 20 different doctors to figure that out. Guys, and that's kind of, I got that rejection letter a lot. We can no longer care for you. We can no longer figure out what's wrong with you. We can no longer treat you. We've tested you for everything we can. I got those a lot. And it started to discourage me. It started to bring my heart down. It started to bring my mood down. It started to kill my morale, guys. But then, my counselor, she was working overtime to try to help me deal with this. Then I had a girlfriend leave, all that stuff. Everything hit all at once, guys. And it was very overwhelming. And that rejection destroyed a lot of who I was. And I had to rebuild myself back. And that's when I decided I was going to smile no matter what. That's when I decided I was going to care no matter what. That's when I decided I was going to turn into the Grinch and let my heart grow 3 sizes too big. And, I have felt a strength since then that I haven't ever felt. And then when I got on here and started talking with you guys, and, yeah, I've had some rejections. Yeah, I've had some people troll. I've had some people say some terrible things. Like just today, for some reason, somebody wanted to threaten to hit the report button just for the Valhalla calling me video. Guys, that's just me walking around with a couple of dull ass practice swords. Pardon the language, but I mean, it's just funny to me. There's that guy was obviously trying to reject all forms of entertainment. But did I let it hurt me? No, I let it roll right off my back. Why? It's one guy. You know, what's one guy compared to the world? Because it's like Davey told me at one point, you know, when we were having a conversation one day. You know, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to hate you, but there's going to be there's going to be a pretty good percentage of people that are going to like what you have to say. You know, and that is very true words. You know, guys, that's why I chose handling rejection tonight. You know, handling rejection is just something that brings out the ugly in us. It brings out the mean in us a lot of times. You know, I've seen it turn the nicest person into the biggest mean streak you've ever seen. You know, and that's just how life is, unfortunately, guys. But you know, if we work on ourselves and we work on every day maintaining an even temperament and really try to think before we speak, you know, especially if we're somewhere on live or if we're out in public. Think before you speak, guys. You don't always need to blur it out like some kind of ghetto freestyle person. You know, just let it go. Blur it out when you get home. Rage about it when you're in behind closed doors. You know, but don't let your ugly show in public, guys. Don't let people see your ugly side unless they're close to you. If they're very close to you, let them see that ugly side. Because if they can't handle that ugly side and they claim that they're close to you, they don't need to be around you, guys. You know, and if you have a situation like another friend of mine where you end up, you know, ending something that you've been doing for a while and it ends up causing you to lose a lot of friends, you know, guys, they weren't your friends in the first place. You know, they were just people that happened to hang around you, you know, and that means that they didn't really care that much about you. But if you go to switch over and you're like, I'm going to try something new, and they're all like, all right, let's do this. Let's see what you got, man. That's a real friend. That's a good person to have around. That's somebody you want in your corner. You know, you never want to deal with one of these people who's just flip-floppy, who just doesn't really think about what they do and just hurts people willy-nilly without even actually taking into consideration anybody's feelings. You know, that was when we were talking about, you know, getting rid of toxic people. And I've noticed toxic people are usually the people that have the hardest time dealing with rejection. But guys, we're actually at the last minute of our half hour right now, which means I'm about to quit yapping my head off and start hanging out with you guys. But I got this one last thing to say. So, when it comes down to somebody like me, or when it comes down to somebody with mental anguish or mental struggles, rejection can be an even harder struggle. But what I want to tell those people is give it time. You'll grow. You just got to work on yourself. You got to really step back and concentrate. Try hard. It's not easy. You know, guys, tomorrow night, I'm thinking about talking about taking the hard road. You know, guys, because one thing I have learned is that the hard road is usually the best road to travel. It'll get you to your destination faster. Not only that, but you'll feel a lot more accomplished about it. You know, so tomorrow we're going to talk about taking the long, hard way, you know, instead of trying to just get ahead. And guys, that long, hard road is full of rejection. It's filled with naysayers, and it's filled with people that are going to try to tell you you can't. I'm here to tell you it doesn't matter what they say. Rise up, Stand on your own 2 feet. Lift your chin up. Stick your chest out. Suck that gut in and tell them, no, I can. And I will. And do it. Don't just say it. Do it. All right, guys. It's time for the hangout session. I wish I had enough water here to do a scald, but I had to use it for my shuck. So I'm going to pick up some more tomorrow morning. But as of right now, no scalds. Rejected. Who's that there, Jennifer? What's wrong, Jennifer? Where is Clint's Jennifer? I actually don't know where Jin Jin is. I think she is having some issues right now, guys. She recently got another anxiety attack, guys. She's calling her doctor in the morning to try to set up an appointment. You know, she's just going through some hard times right now mentally. And we're trying to help her through it. Melissa, I agree. It also makes you wiser or less trusting in others. Full life of fake promises. Oh, I got you. All right. Yeah, I don't think she had anxiety. I want to talk to her about it. You know, I'm sorry, man. I can't make her show up. Well, to the extent she displays. Yeah. Hey, Shelly, what's up? You know, yeah, man, I can't make her come in if she's not wanting to. You know, she might be here, but she just might not be talking. You know, guys, and if she is, my Jin Jin, I love you, and I wish you would talk to us. But if you're not, I understand. Because we were talking beforehand, guys, and she was having a serious problem because she really did start to think that nobody in the sanctum wanted her here. Hey, Nightshade, how you doing? Welcome back. Did you get your headache under control? I know, Shelly. I'll definitely try to tell her. That's terrible about Jen. Loved all her shorts. I know, man. She's doing really good. I was the one who offered the suggestion to her to start using the little editing tools and showed her how to do it. And she's been jumping into that head first, guys, hasn't she? You know, that's what I mean by, you know, she's been growing in leaps and bounds. But she still has that trauma, guys, that she's got to fight through. You know, and some nights it's good. Some nights it's really bad. You're with one of your friends. Awesome, Nightshade. Thank you, Shelly. I'm sure she'd really appreciate the sentiment. Let's see. Hang on. All right. What's up, Sir Fly? How you doing? Jin Jin's channel name is @JenHolder, all lowercase, one word, 976. @JenHolder 976. Yeah, I know, Double A. She's not in here tonight. You know, she's not really feeling very well. You know, so she's taking the night off. You know, guys, and she wasn't feeling very well this afternoon. And I kind of talked her into doing afternoon hangout to make herself feel better. And it did help. But, you know, she's just not in the right mood, guys. And she doesn't want to bring anybody down. Thanks. Okay, I'll be right back. All righty. Thank you, Shelly. You know, guys, one of the things that has, you know, been going on lately has been the fact that a lot of people have been worried about Jen. And guys, I'm very worried about her too. You know, guys, I love her to death. I don't want anything to happen to her or anything, you know, bad to go down. but she's got to be able to handle some of these issues on her own. And she's wanting to take the time to try to deal with it by herself. I have taken and helped her with every single anxiety attack she's had thus far. And she's decided to try to handle this one by herself. So she's trying to be a trooper, guys. And I couldn't be prouder of her. It is Jen Holder at Jen Holder -J7M. She probably does, Davey. It probably would help. It probably would help her. It's just getting her to want to talk to anybody but me right now. Right now she's scared of talking to anybody else but me. And it's because she's afraid that people are going to be mean to her. People are going to be upset about it. And they're going to talk badly to her. She's terrified of people talking smack on her. And I'm constantly having to tell her it's not happening. Because she freaks out about that. She's been picked on her whole life so much that just that little bit, just a little bit of someone being rude to her, and it can send her into a serious episode. I just saw the zombie apocalypse vid. It's dope. Thank you. When's the wedding, Michael Ziesman? Mike? When's the wedding, Mike? I don't know, man. I've got to meet her first, in person. We do our own video on here and we video call each other, but we haven't actually physically met yet. Hold on, guys. I got to let my shuck out. Come on. Come on. Come on. There you go, you dirty butt. Better stay in the yard. That's what I thought. Good boy. Sorry, guys. He's been trying to go over to the neighbor's yard lately. Ooh, and I'm kicking the stand. He's been trying to go over to the neighbor's yard lately. They have a boxer, and she's in that time. So he's all rough, He's all ready to go. And we don't need boxer lab puppies. I can't afford to take care of them, and I ain't about to let nobody put them down just because they ain't purebred. So, yeah, I'd be stuck with a lot of dogs at that point. I've watched her lives. Something doesn't add up. She big bag caring Davey wants to have a conversation. I got you, man. Oh yeah, I'm happy, Mike. I'm just worried about her. I'm just happy to have somebody, guys. It's a little personal, but I'll say it anyway, guys. It's hard for me to find people. I don't have very good social skills. I'm a solid one. Let's just face it. And I don't have any money. So I have nothing to offer. So when it comes down to it, all I have to offer is my love and my devotion. That's all I got. And that's not enough for a lot of people. That's not enough for most people. So finding somebody like Jen, it's one in a million chance for me. So that's why I hold on tight and I never let go. They have to tell me to leave. But once they tell me it's over, it's over. But I'm hoping she won't. And I'm hoping that this time your boy found his girl, his forever die, his forever ride or die. You're just a chill guy. Thank you. Thank you, Shelly. You're a good person, and this world doesn't recognize good people. I just hope you never change. Man, I haven't changed in 37 years. I don't think they can change me. They can bring me down for a little while, but I'll stand right back up. You know, guys, I've never been brought down so low that I couldn't come back. Thank you. I actually got it from a Cherokee. But whenever I finally find a company that sells hats like this, I'm going to try to buy some in bulk. And I'm going to try to set them aside for inventory for my merchandise store when I'm finally able to do it. Howdy, how you doing, Foxy? Clint, all that matters is your kindness, and your independent. Thank you. You know, and you know that's what I try to be. I try to be as nice a guy as possible because I got to make up. Not really got to, but I feel like I need to make up for everything I'm lacking in. And if I'm lacking in social skills, and I'm lacking in physical work skills or anything like that, then I'm going to make up for it in people skills. Hello, Spencer. How you doing? Could be better. I'm sorry to hear that. AC unit's still kicking butt, by the way. I got to turn it off at night. I put that sucker on 70 degrees, and this thing gets cold. No, well, there's my shucker puppers. Now you're ready to come back inside. Let me close the door. Oh! And yes, y'all saw it. I'm wearing sandals instead of my moccasins. I'm not wearing my moccasins tonight for the simple fact that, whoa, I got them being cleaned. Well, I'm cleaning them at the moment. I'm soaking them. And then I'm going to scrub them out real good. And I'm going to wipe them down real good so they'll quit having a little bit of mud here and there. How many likes and subs to see you ride a horse? Well, if I knew somebody who owned a horse and would let me ride it, I'd ride one. You ain't got to do too many subs. I'd just do it. Why? Because I love animals and I love horses. So if I could find a chance to ride a horse, I'll ride another horse. I try to be nice guy to an extent as a Libra. I need to be just as much of an asshole too. I got you, Davey. You make my day, man. I've been through a lot of negativity, and you make me think of positivity of life. Oh, thank you. And Inuk, I am 37 years old. Yeah. My favorite animal is the opossum. Oh, okay. I've always wanted to have a pet one and name him Petey. I've heard that they get just as close to you as dogs do, and they're just as sweet, so I'd love to have a pet possum. Have little Petey the possum. What's my favorite meal? Any meat that's grilled. It doesn't matter what it is. Grill it and I'll eat it. I could get a cat, but my Shuck does not like cats. He used to, and then he tried to play with the wrong kitty. And ever since then, he has not liked cats. You like cube steak? Cube steak's cool. That's some good eating. Not much of a texture in the chat today because this is very entertaining to watch. I got you. Not much of a texture in the chat. I see Superior Aviation. Thank you for thinking this is entertaining, guys. I try my best. I can't believe we're already at 15 likes, guys. 5 more to hit 20 in 15 minutes. Guys, let's try to get that up. Let's try to do that, guys. We've had a good solid double digits since we started. So I like that. Favorite sports teams? Not really, because I'm more of a HEMA guy. And it's more of state competitions, because you hold little small tournaments. And Chuck, would you stop moving my stuff? He stretches out on the floor, and he stretches all the way out. When he does, he moves everything. Nope, I am not 49. Oh, I already let Chuck out. He's already came back in. Now he's just stretching and scratching. Yeah, no, I'm not 49, man. I'm 37. My best memory, my children being born. Watching them be born. I'll never forget it. Hearing them cry for the first time, it still breaks my heart to this day. In a good way. Hold on, guys. I'm good. Oh, man. That memory just flashed in my head again. I always cry when I think about it. I miss him so much, guys. Oh, quit it. Oh, man. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, happy. What breed is Shuck? Oh, he was wanting to go body. Oh, he already was. But I let him back in. His breed is a black lab and pit bull mix. No, you didn't upset me, Mike. So don't worry about it, man. I really miss my babies. And the other day, somebody pulled a rather rude prank. They acted like they were my son and like they were coming to visit me. And yeah, it broke my heart because they never showed up. Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, you didn't make me upset. You know, I'm perfectly fine. You know, it was just the memory, man. It floods me with all kinds of emotions. It's not just happy, you know, because their mama was laying there on the table, cut wide open because they had to do an emergency C-section. So I was terrified that I was going to lose their mother. You know, they were preemies, so I was terrified I was going to lose them. And then I heard them cry, and it was the sweetest sound I ever heard in my life. And I got to hold them. So yeah, there's a lot of emotions in that memory, guys. A lot. The biggest one is that I got to see my babies before, at least. Because I know, baby, I'm okay, Shuck. I'm okay. I'm okay. Now he's whining because of me. He don't like watching me cry. I'm okay, baby. All right, see you, Davey. See you later, brother. Oh, I'm not worried, man. See you later, Davey. I'm not gonna cry anymore, man. It's okay. I'm so sorry. You know, it's just I didn't get to see him grow up, guys. You know, I got to think of something else. I'm sorry, guys. Whew. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. I feel like a big blubbering baby. Oh, hell. But you know what, guys? I'm not afraid to show my emotions. A lot of people are. I'm not. What's up, Amber? It's a beautiful thing, man. Let it out. But what you got there, Amber? My favorite movie is actually Godzilla. Basically, any of them. Yes, I got my niece. I got my Jen. I got my nephews. You know, my oldest niece, the one that I could really hang out with, has went on ahead and, you know, moved out to Wyoming. I'm going to miss her a lot, too. But I got to raise her. Have you seen a meme? I've seen a meme or a meme. Are you from USA? I'm from Pennsylvania. Yeah, Eddie, I'm from Southeast Texas, man. My good buddy Sean is from Pennsylvania as well. He wants me to come up there and go hunting with him one day, which, guys, I'd love to do. Dream place to live and retire. Australia. I love it. I would move there in a heartbeat. Calls, I haven't because I have never been to Italy. Oh, okay. Yeah, what's up there, Shelly? But yeah, I've never been to Italy either. I'd love to go there too, especially to see the Vatican. What's up, Sir Fly? You know, it's wonderful having all you guys here. Thank you so much for the support, guys. And I'm sorry I broke down on y'all. That's just, I don't mind answering any questions, guys. Just realize some of them, they're going to make me cry. But your boy's okay. They're just strong memories, guys. And those strong memories is what makes me me. It's what makes me smile. Because that strong, happy memory of that day is one of the things that drives me. Because I know I'll see him again. One day. Jin shorts make you laugh. Too many snakes in Australia. That's one of the reasons why I want to move there. Snakes and crocodiles. And great whites. Yeah, it's in the past. You know, I'm not sad about it, guys. The only thing I was sad about was missing him grow up. That was it. Missing him grow up and missing getting to be a father. You know, but I'm all back. I'm all good. You know, and we can go back to the way things were. I don't want anyone to be sad. Please be safe and kind to others. Thank you. Frosty Fish, you're gay? Welcome into the group, man. How you doing, brother? Yo, let that flag fly, bro, man. You know, I ain't gonna judge on you. I have plenty of transgender, lesbian, gay friends. You know, I always let everybody in. Yeah, you know, I support pride, but I support pride to an extent, guys, you know. And what I mean by that is don't shove it down somebody's throat. You know, just be gay, be proud of it. Be a lesbian, be proud of it. Be bi, be proud of it. Be a they, them, be proud of it. You know, I'm an true. You don't see very many of us in America, not that know what we truly are. And I'm proud to be that way. I'll go on any kind of Christian site. I'll go on any kind of Muslim site. I'll say, God bless you, and I'll say, Assalamu alaikum, and I'll mean it. But at the end of the day, Odin is the man for me. So, yeah. Yeah, oh, I got you. You're bisexual? All right, Shelly. That's awesome. What'd you say there, Mike? No pun intended. What do you mean they don't shove it down their throats? Well, what I mean by that, sir, is I've had some people be like, you know, you got to try to be gay too. You have to be gay at least a little bit, you know, and that's what I mean by shoving it down somebody's throat. You know, or if someone tells you, hey, I'm straight, man, it's all good. You know, don't think they're homophobic just because they say they say they're straight, you know, or they ask you not to flirt with them. That's not the case, man. They're not being homophobic. They just don't feel comfortable. That's what I mean. All right, Mike. All right. Get the brain out the gutter a little bit there. Hit my cat. I got you. I got you, Frosty. But welcome on in, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got 5 minutes left on the clock. Well, 5 minutes and some odd seconds. 45 to be precise. So I'd like to welcome everybody in. Let's try to get 2 more likes up on the board for us there, guys. You know, hit the subscribe, the bell, and the notification icon, all that stuff. You know, hit the thumbs up. Come on in and see us again sometimes. Oh, I'm not leaving yet, but I do have to go in about 5 minutes, guys. I do have some stuff to get done. You know, I've got to walk all the way down to my friend's mom's house to fill up some water jugs and come all the way back with them. Thank you, Shelly. you can, the Air Force isn't a bad idea. Go for it. I'd say, yeah, go for the Air Force, man. Thank you, Frosty Fish. Thank you so much. Hey, we hit 20 likes before the end of the video. Thank you guys so much. I hope you all have enjoyed Final Thoughts, because I always enjoy trying to bring them to you, although I did struggle a little bit because I didn't actually get to figure out what I was going to do for Final Thoughts until it was 8 o'clock. And I was like, oh, crap. So I was sitting here like, what do I talk about? What do I talk about? I was totally out. Ooh, Frosty Fish. I'm 15, I'm 11, I'm 13. Okay, guys. Here's what I want y'all to do. Eddie, you're fine. Frosty and Shelly, I would like for y'all to do me a favor and go get your parents and tell them that you got onto the wrong channel and say that you're sorry. And then, guys, I'm sorry. I can't have anybody below the age of 16 on here, man. I talk about too important stuff. I am so sorry. Let's see. All right. Sorry about that. Hey, you broke 20 likes. Time for a song. Man, I wish I could, but I have definitely messed up my neck tonight. I am sorry to those two young folks that popped in, but 13 and 11, no, we can't have them in here, guys. I had to get rid of them. But what's up, Flying 90? How you doing? Yeah, you just barely scraped by there, Eddie. You barely scraped by, man. At 16, you can handle what I talk about because you're getting old enough. You're in high school. You can handle what I'm talking about, man. But yeah, 11 or 13, no. They got to get a few more years on them, man. But how you doing there, Flying 90, bro? It's good to see you in. 15 is okay. 15 is okay. You barely scraped by, man. I'm going to let you sit down because you had some very, very, very interesting input there, Eddie. Just editing? Man, I'm learning how to do this editing process using my cell phone on some of my shorts. That's why I've been producing so many different colorful shorts and music shorts and filters and everything like that. Guys, I'm trying to figure out how to work this thing properly. All right, yeah, Eddie, just stay respectful, stay understanding, and if I tell you, hey, man, not the right chat time for you, just please do me the favor and just watch the show after. That's a lot of the times what I ask my older folks to do. They're like just at the age. So I ask them, just go watch the show afterwards. But tonight, you're fine. All right, man. Sounds good. Thank you. I don't mind you being a part of the nights. I don't mind those two being a part of the nights. But they can't be a part of the lives. They're too young. But anyway, guys, we have got 1 minute left. And, man, I hate to go already. But I have actually got shit to do tonight. So I will talk to you guys later. And I do apologize for saying the S word. But I'm just... I kind of got a little emotionally burned out just a second ago, guys. And it wasn't anybody's fault. So do not make yourself feel bad. It's just, that's a very hard memory. And I love you guys. Thank you all for showing up. Y'all are the backbone of this. The channel wouldn't be what it is without you guys. And thank you all for coming back in. I hope to see you all next time. Remember, see you from a swamp, later from a gator. Love you, mama. Love you, papa. Love yourself. Be kind. Always find a way to help. If you follow these rules, you'll do good. All right, guys. See y'all next time. And as I said before, be safe, stay kind.